YouTube. So by the way, guys, if you're not following us yet on YouTube, make sure you do so. We have a lot of free content on there. We have a lot of like interviews with like good investment experts. We have a lot of really good stuff there. YouTube. So by the way, guys, okay, there you go. Yeah, so that's us live on YouTube now. So if you want to find us, right? So what you do is you go youtube.com, search for Lumiwealth. And there we are right there. And when you see us on, when you see this channel, make sure that you also like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're going to get all the updates of when things come out and whatnot, right? So, you know, we have tons of webinars on our different courses. We have lots of free content that we're putting out there. We have interviews with people in the crypto space and investment advisors. So lots of really good stuff. So definitely things that you want to get sent out to you. All right, so I'm going to send you, I'm going to post a link to this inside of our chat. All right, so let me turn on our chat to panelists and attendees. There you go. Send this out. There you go. Great. So you guys now have a link to our YouTube channel. I'm also going to send a link in the chat to where you're going to be able to find the recording of this, if that's what you're looking for. All right, so you'll be able to find the recording there as well. Right now, this is live streaming, right? But as soon as this is done, when we're finished with this this little introduction, then we are going to, then it's going to turn into a recording, right? So you'll be able to rewatch any of this and kind of go back and see, you know, there might be reasons for you guys to see certain things, right? Okay, cool, awesome. All right, so let's get started. So here's our agenda for today, right? First, we're going to learn a little bit about who's on the call. You guys can tell me a little bit about yourselves. By the way, throughout this entire presentation, feel free to ask questions throughout. You could type in the chat window or in the Q&A. So you'll see the chat and the Q&A buttons there. If you have any questions, feel free to ask throughout. Don't feel like you have to wait until the end because we can answer your questions throughout. And it's actually much more fun to have a more interactive type of presentation, right? So, so definitely feel free to ask questions throughout. Okay. So first of all, let's get to know who is on this call. All right, so if you guys could actually type into the chat window and just let me know a little bit about yourself, right? Like, what's your occupation? Do you know how to code? How long have you been trading for? If you could type that out into the chat window, that way we can get to know you a little bit better. All right, so feel free to write that out. And I'm going to continue going while you guys type that out so that you guys have a bit of a chance to do that. All right. Okay, cool. So, so to continue on, so feel free to write that out, who you are, what your occupation is, do you know how to program, that sort of thing. All right. Okay, so introduction. So first of all, let's tell you a little bit about myself and about Lumiwealth. So who am I? Why listen to me? Okay, we got a couple of chats here. So engineer in Houston, a little coding, but not a lot. Awesome, that sounds great. I find engineers actually do very well in our program because you guys have that analytical kind of mind. Software coding is basically software engineering, right? So I think you do quite well with that. So Nath Krishna, I'm a network engineer and a noob to trading. I'm learning Python script for work. Oh, nice, great. So again, so lots of engineers. I think you guys would feel very much at home with our programs. And if you don't have a lot of trading experience, we can actually help a lot with that, right? Because one of the advantages of using algorithms to trade is that you can back test and you can find out what trading ideas are right and which ones are wrong. You know, I've had this question asked before to me where, you know, do you think I should trade a bit and learn how to trade first before taking a program? My thoughts are actually the opposites. I think taking this program actually helps you a lot with your trading because you can actually build out these algorithms and say, okay, well, is this going to work? Is this going to work? We teach you a lot about data science and that sort of thing as well. So you do a lot of your own analysis to find out what trading strategies work the best for you. And, you know, what are some ways to make money and not to make money, right? So definitely, you guys are in the right spot. So thank you very much for that, guys. Okay, cool. So a little bit about myself, right? So my name is Robert, right? I have been programming computers for well over 20 years, probably approaching 25 or something like that, not to date myself too much. But I was very young when I learned how to code. I was like 12. I don't know, just loved it as a kid. It was fun making these little bots and things like that. So I've been doing it for quite a while. I also managed a lot of software teams. The largest software team I ever managed is about 30 people, which was at a company in Toronto. So been coding for a while, made quite a few different startups and quite a few different types of software applications throughout time, and then decided to go to business school. After business school, I got my master's in finance. Loved finance and loved actually. Funny thing is, we had the idea, or I had this idea for Lumiwealth and building out these bots way back, going through undergrad, something like 2000. When was I even 2010 or 2008, something like that. So I've been working towards this for quite a while. Really love the space, love investing, love finance, right? And then after graduating, went off and got a job on Wall Street, right? So moved to New York, got a job on Wall Street, basically helped build out a software team, right? So hired a bunch of people, made sure that we were running well as a team, and we built out basically a product that to date has done probably, I'd say probably $50 billion in loans probably to date. So basically it was a mortgage lending company, and we are lending out to individuals who are looking to borrow, $10 million, $20 million and up to build out an apartment, building kind of thing, right? So we built out software to really make that quite a bit easier, and to value properties and things like that, and to figure out how much should we lend to them, that sort of thing. So we built out a piece of software. I did that. It was really cool. After that, I went to go work for a company called Voyager. If you guys are familiar with crypto, you probably have heard of them. So basically Voyager is kind of like Coinbase, right? It's a cryptocurrency broker, right? So basically helped start this company from the ground up. When I joined, it was nothing but 3 people or 4 people in a little tiny WeWork. And we were talking about how we're going to build the iPhone app and how we're going to build the back end. So basically built everything from scratch, helped architect the entire thing, helped hire a lot of people there. As employee number 4, I think, or 5. That company is now much, much larger. It's worth something like $3 billion. Last I heard, around 100 people. So grown quite a bit, as with a lot of things in crypto. So definitely proud to have that as a company that I used to work at. Also quite profitable, believe it or not. The stock options are paid off quite well. So now that's the past. Those are things I worked on, a lot of programming experience and whatnot. Now the focus is on Lumiwealth, right? So we're building this new company. We've been around for about 2 years now, almost exactly 2 years. And what we care about is we're building technology, software solutions to help people invest better, right? Which means smarter investing, better returns, and making better decisions, right? So how do we do that? Well, right now we're quite focused on the courses, right? We think that's probably the easiest way for us to get into that and help you guys out. So we have a lot of great courses on algorithmic trading, which is this one here. We have courses on trading options using algorithms. We have machine learning course. We're going to be adding in crypto courses soon as well. And we're also putting together a website that's kind of going to make this even easier for you guys to be able to host your algorithms, so you could buy and sell algorithms, that sort of thing. My hope is that sometime in the future, if you guys take this course, you could actually take your algorithms that you've made, put them on our website, and start getting paid from other people, right? Almost like being your own hedge fund manager, right? That's kind of the direction that we're going in. All right, so that's Lumiwealth. Really, really passionate about using technology to help people get better returns. And especially after working on Wall Street, seeing these like super like billionaires getting all these amazing returns, getting 20, 30, 40, 50% returns on their investments. And no one has access to that. Just really frustrated me. And I believe software can have a major impact there and help everyday people like you and I, unless of course you are a billionaire. I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming probably not. Helping regular everyday people like us actually be able to compete against these large corporations and compete against these hedge funds that are using technology like this, and believe it or not, making very good returns at your expense, right? So that's what we're all about, and we're about leveling the playing field and making some good money in the meantime. All right. So that's myself. That's Lumiwealth. Like I said before, make sure you follow us on YouTube. We have lots of good content on there. We have our past webinars. We have our webinars of our other courses. We have interviews with people. This webinar itself is going to be there, the recording of it. So make sure you check us out on YouTube. I already posted that link to our channel. Another really good resource for you guys. Oh, excuse me. Another really good resource for you guys is our Discord channel. This is awesome. By the way, I think you guys would love being part of our community. If you guys are into trading, if you're into technology, if you're into algorithmic trading and you want to learn more about it, you guys really got to join our Discord channel. This is awesome. We have lots of people in here. It's very active. Some people that have built some great trading algorithms. I can name a couple people here that are making like several 100% a year using the algorithms. So they're great people to learn from. And share information with. We have, if you guys join our course or any one of our courses, actually, you also get access to our discussion hour voice channel. And this one's awesome too, because basically what we do is every week we meet on Tuesday and we just talk about, what algorithms are you guys building? What strategies can we follow? And, I'll be honest, I feel like I learn a lot from our students. I'm the teacher for one of these courses, but I feel like I learned just as much from some of our students. So definitely a great place to learn. People are working on some really cool stuff and have some really cool ideas on strategies to make money. So that's our discussion hour. And you can just, you could chat about stocks, you could chat about crypto. There's always very vibrant discussions going on here in all of them. Right? So definitely join our Discord. I sent out that link there. And also, if you want to ask our alumni, how were the classes, that sort of thing, you can just talk to them. It's just, we're very open and we like having these discussions. All right, cool. So that's that. We also have a survey at the end of the webinar. So please make sure that you take that survey so that we can learn how to improve this over time. All right. This is, not only do we want to improve these webinars, but we want to improve our courses. We want to improve our company. We're big believers in feedback. So please give us that feedback so we can keep making better and better products for you guys, right? And then again, ask questions throughout the presentation. Don't wait until the end. It's better if this is more of an interactive presentation, right? Cool. Okay. All right. So let's talk about algorithmic trading a little bit. All right. So what is it? Why do we care? All right. So basically, algorithmic trading is using software to trade any number of assets, right? We could trade stocks, we could trade crypto, we could trade options is a new course that we just created, futures, Forex, right? So you could trade all sorts of different types of assets using algorithms, right? Basically, it's computers being able to buy and sell any of these assets, on the fly, right? There's huge advantages to that, right? Because computers, first of all, are less emotional than people, right? They don't sleep. So if you're trading a market that's 24 hours like crypto or futures, unless you want to stay awake for, a week straight and just don't sleep, the algorithm is going to do a much better job of that, right? And also it's able to read in more information and do different types of analysis, right? So people, we're good at doing things that are seeing into the future. Maybe we can better predict, what companies are going to be successful, at least for now, right? But some really good things that machines can do is do things trading really quickly, or organizing your portfolio in such a way that you're making good money and you're reducing your risks. There's machines can really do a lot with speed and do a lot with all the data that's available on the internet. Right. Also, when we talk about algorithmic trading, we're not only talking about bots that buy and sell stocks, we're also talking about the data science behind it, right? So being able to download that data and analyze it is very, very helpful to understanding what is going to happen with economics, what's going to happen with companies, do your analysis, that sort of thing. That's also extremely valuable, right? So that's what we mean by algorithmic trading, right? So it could be providing alerts as opposed to just, actually doing the trade itself, right? Some people choose that. Some people choose to have, I want to double check if whatever it's buying, right? Okay, cool. So that's algorithmic trading. So why do we care, right? So first of all, just like anything else in the world, software is just killing it, right? Software has made communications better. Software has made, name any industry really, software has really improved it quite a bit. Finance is no different, right? If software is growing incredibly fast in the finance world, fintech is probably one of the best investments in the world. And when you look at hedge funds and investment companies that are using these types of algorithmic techniques, they're doing really, really well. Like these guys are making a killing, right? Everyone from Citigroup to JP Morgan to here, we're going to talk about Renaissance Technologies and a few others. These guys are all really making a lot of money building these algorithms. That's why they pay these huge salaries for these guys too, by the way. If you ever want to work in this industry, very, very well paid. Hard to get the job, mind you, but very, very well paid. So let's talk about a couple of these companies, right? So one of them is a Renaissance Technologies, and this is run by a company by a man, or used to be run by a man called Jim Simmons. He founded it, right? There's a really good book by him. If you guys haven't read this, I highly suggest you read this book. It's called The Man Who Solved the Market. Okay, there it is. The Man Who Solved the Market. This is the audiobook format. Okay, so it's this is the cover over there. It's like this. Very, very interesting book. Talks about this guy, Jim Simmons, who basically started, he's like a mathematician, right? He started this hedge fund called Renaissance Technologies. It took him a while to figure out how to build a good trading algorithm. That's basically what they're doing. It took him some time to figure that out. Mind you, this is back in like the 60s, right? when computers are really hard to work with, maybe 70s. But basically, they eventually figured it out and had an algorithm that was working really well for them. It's fascinating reading this book because like the algorithm started making a decent amount of money, and then it started to get really, really, really good to the point that now I think it's been 30 years straight that these guys have had over the past 30 years, their average return has been 39% per year. Okay. And that's a 39%, not like the stock market that goes up and down like this. It's like a steady 39%. I think in 30 years, there's only been one quarter that they've ever lost money, right? So think about all the things that happened. The dot-com bubble burst, 2008 happened, last year happened. These guys do not lose money, right? They just constantly minting cash. Imagine having something like that. It's crazy, right? 40% a year regularly and like with almost no risk. That's insane, right? I personally, I would take like a mortgage out to give it to them. You know what I mean? But they're not accepting any more capital though, right? They actually, their hedge fund, this is what I mean, is these guys have access to things that, regular everyday people do not. We got to flip that, right? So anyways, so these guys, 39% return, uncorrelated with stock market, almost never lose money. They manage about $110 billion in assets. So let's put that into perspective, what 39% return is, okay? So if you were to invest in the stock market, okay, which is about 10% per year, and obviously highly recommended that you are doing investing, right? If you invest in the stock market, let's say just $1,000, right? After 30 years, you're going to end up with $17,500, right? It's a pretty good return, right? Like definitely do that rather than put it into a savings account, 100%, right? But check out what these guys did, right? So $1,000, if you do that for 30 years, I could get you the exact number here even, right? So we go, 1,000. So we'll go, basically the math looks like this. It's 1.39 to the power of 30, right? 1.39 to the power of 30, and then times 1,000, right? So it's actually, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Oh, sorry, I have my numbers off here a little bit. $19,518,390, right? So think about that difference, right? So instead of having $17,000, you'll end up with $19 million. That's what these guys have been doing. That's why they're so incredibly freaking rich. You know what I mean? These guys, if you read the book, it's amazing. They like bought mansions and forgot they even existed. It was just wild how much money these guys are making. You might as well have a bank machine in your house, right? That just like spits out money. It's crazy, right? But you know what? They're not the only ones though, right? Like, I mean, they're doing really well. They're definitely the shining example. But I mean, companies like Two Sigma are also doing really well, beating the stock market regularly while taking low returns. These guys are doing very, very well. 60 billion assets. They're also an algorithmic trading firm, right? Citadel is another one. These guys built out a lot of algorithms. They're also kind of responsible for some of that high frequency trading type stuff. These guys manage $32 billion, also making lots and lots of money for their investors. Bridgewater is another one. These guys are very heavy into data science and they do a lot of analysis. 140 billion-ish, right? And then D.E. Shaw, Another one, these guys are also Algorithmic Trading, also one of the best performing hedge funds in the world, manage $50 billion in assets. And someone that you guys know actually used to work at this company. Does anyone know who used to work at D.E. Shaw that you guys will be very familiar with? I'll give you guys a second to think about it, but I guess you Google it too. There we go. So we got one here. No, okay. So someone who used to work at D.E. Shaw is actually Jeff Bezos, right? So before he started Amazon, he used to work at D.E. Shaw, and actually, there's some, So actually, it's said that him working at D.E. Shaw actually taught him a lot about what types of things to invest in, and that's kind of one of the reasons why he came up with Amazon in the first place, because he was looking through all that data. He saw that the internet was growing exponentially and really wanted to get involved with it. So that's actually kind of the way that he came up with the idea for Amazon, is through this company, D.E. Shaw. The CEO really wanted to keep him on board, said, don't go start a new company. Jeff Bezos said, no, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And, the rest is history. Now he's one of the richest people on earth, right? So when you're doing this stuff, you're definitely in good company, right? Cool. Okay. So that's their investment returns. We've also been doing well, right? This is our returns from last year, right? We, when the stock market was up about 17%, we did about 53. We dodged that whole drop in 2020 because we actually, because of these algorithms that we went through, we're able to actually calculate the way that we should be diversifying our money and that sort of thing, right? So we're actually able to do quite well last year, even when the world was falling apart, and still continue to do very well as it's going up a lot more. That's one of our accounts. We have a few different accounts. Some of them actually have done a lot better than that, but that's one of our accounts and some of our returns from that. All right. Okay. So that's our returns there. Obviously, that's something important. But let's talk about the actual code. And let's talk about this stuff actually working, right? Because that's what you guys are here for. You want to see a demo. You want to see how this stuff actually works. If you're interested in setting this up, if you guys know how to code, this is basically the link that you want to go to. You want to go to our GitHub, right? Search for Lumibot, Lumibot. If you do go to this GitHub, make sure you star and watch our GitHub, just because then you get the updates and all that. And we're constantly updating this thing. But this is technology that we use throughout our courses. It's an open source library, so you don't have to pay for any of this stuff. It's free and will always be free. And basically, we've devised a piece of technology that makes it really, really easy for you guys to create these trading bots and back test them and figure out. And by the way, if you guys don't know what backtesting is, what it is basically you'll build an algorithm and then you'll check how would it have done over the past 20, 30 years. Right. And that's very relevant, right? Because you want to know, if I were to run this for the next 5 years, how is it going to perform? And the back testing helps a lot with that, right? So it's very easy for us to build a strategy, back test it, and then trade it, right? We've made that very, very simple. So if you're interested, you could read through our documentation here. There's some stuff about how to get everything set up and whatnot. So if you know how to code, you might be able to get this stuff set up on your computer pretty quickly, right? Our courses obviously go into that and then talk about all the data science behind it. We show you many different trading examples, some of the algorithms that we use. There's lots of stuff in there as well, or in our courses as well on top of that. Okay. But if you're interested, that's the code. All right. But what I'm going to do for you guys right now is I'm going to show you guys a demo. Considering this is after market hours, okay, I can't actually do this live, right? So this is something that was recorded a little while ago, demoing a bunch of our bots. Right. So basically, you'll see this demo, you see some of these things running. And when you join our courses, you'll get access to all these strategies that I'm about to show you, plus more. We keep making these things better and better. If you join our course, actually the one starting next week, by the time that you guys get to this stuff, we're going to have a lot more things in there. Our students are building some really cool stuff, and it's very, very exciting to say the least. But without further ado, let me play this for you guys so you guys can see exactly how these strategies work, and you can see some examples of them. All right. So let me play this for you guys now. So this is, I'm going to show you a couple of different trading strategies that we show you, first of all, in the courses,
and that you can employ yourself. It's pretty easy for you to get these up and running. I've had people that have never coded a day in their lives and have these strategies running within just a few weeks. Yeah, so, you know, even if you don't know how to code, don't feel like you have to shy away from this, whatever. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of code here, but really it's not that difficult to learn. We've been able to teach a lot of people that have never coded before in their lives, right? Okay, so here, let's show you a demo of some of our different trading strategies. Yeah. So there's a couple I want to show you today. We have some new ones, like I was saying. Okay. So I want to show you, first of all, our fast trading strategy, just because a lot of people, whenever they think algo trading, they want to be able to trade really quickly, get in and out of things very fast, and analyze a lot of things. So what I'm doing here is I'm running this fast trading strategy. You see here, we go into our broker. It was nothing, and now it bought a whole bunch of stuff automatically by itself. Okay. And let me describe to you essentially what this strategy is doing. Okay. Here is the code. The code is fairly straightforward. It's not that long, right? So it looks like, you know, 160 lines of code, but a lot of it is boilerplate stuff, and a lot of it is like, you know, kind of just tracking things and whatnot. It's very easy for you guys to get something like this up and running. Essentially what it does is it looks at these symbols here, right? SPY, gold, TLT, Microsoft, Tesla, etc. Right? We're looking at all those symbols and basically saying which one has done the best over the past 1 minute, right? And whichever one did the best, you know, has had a momentum, the best momentum, it keeps the top 4, okay? And it'll keep swapping them up. So if we watch this here, we see the top 4 we have right now is TLT, XPXS, XPXL, and MCHI. Those are best over 1 minute. You see that just swapped. We just bought some gold. So it sold TLT and bought gold. Okay? And if we leave this running, you'll see, basically you'll do this all day long, right? You don't have to be in front of your computer. You could have this thing running in the cloud. You could have this thing running off your computer. And it'll just keep trading for you all day long, right? Now, this is a strategy that, you know, follows momentum, but you could just as easily do a lot of other things with this, right? You could use technical analysis for this, right? I know a lot of people like looking at charts and support resistance, that sort of thing. You could use that, right? You could use things like RSI or pivot points or VWAP, right? You could use all those types of things to influence which stocks you want to own and have like a, you know, we have our top 10 stocks, and based on our criteria, we keep the top 4, and you can trade throughout the day doing that sort of thing. So this is very flexible. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. And this is just a demo to kind of show you, you know, this fast trading, how it moves in and out. If we give it another minute, it should actually flip things around. We'll give it, yeah, so it executes once every minute. If we give it a little bit more time, it'll swap things out. Oh, there you go. Okay, it just did that. So it sold the gold. Remember, you guys saw the gold. It sold that, and it sold our MCHI. So we sold 2 of those things, and then bought SPY and bought Microsoft, right? And that's because those have been the ones that are doing the best over the past minute, and just kind of hold on to them, right? It's just a simple momentum strategy. But like I said, there's a lot of other things they could convert this into. Use any kind of technical analysis you want, or any kind of criteria that you want to do this sort of trading, right? This is something I'll be like throughout the day, intraday, quickly getting in and out of things, right? All right, okay, so that's our fast trading strategy. Let's show you our technical analysis strategy, right? Because this one is, we could basically take what we did in the last one, okay? And we can do the same thing, or we could use essentially, you know, what we did in the last one. We could apply this sort of stuff for technical analysis type of stuff, right? So what this one does is it's, sorry, there's a question here on chat. I want to do trading, day trading will help me with that. Yes, absolutely, will help you with day trading. Yeah. So the last strategy that I just showed you, the fast trading, is very well suited for day trading, right? So what you would do is you would take something like that and combine it with maybe a technical, it depends on how you trade, right? If you trade, you know, support resistance, if you trade using VWAP, if you trade using some sort of technical analysis, RSIs or Bollinger Bands or whatever, we could implement all that kind of stuff, right? So here is a technical analysis strategy. This one trades a little slower, but you can mix the 2 together, right? You can make it so that the last one that we had takes the top 4 stocks, right? This one, what it does is it trades based off of RSI, right? So it looks at the RSI of SPY, right? And if RSI falls below 33, okay, so actually, so it's looking at the RSI for SPY, and it has two stocks that it trades, okay? It has SPY and TLT, okay? It has the two of them, okay? And they're normally 60-40, which is kind of like what investment advisors recommend, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, right? But when the RSI gets too high on SPY, which means kind of like it's overbought, right, is what we call it with RSI terms. When it's overbought, then we say, okay, let's get out of SPY and only buy TLT. So we sell our SPY, go 100% to TLT. And then the opposite situation, when SPY falls too much and the RSI is low, then we will sell all of our TLT and only buy SPY, right? So it's changing weightings in our stocks based off of this criteria of a technical analysis, right? Technical indicator, okay? So if we see it trading right now, you'll see it bought 60-40 SPY, so 60% of money of 50,000 is put into SPY automatically, right? And TLT, the other 20,000, right? The other 40%, okay? If this is a time when SPY was too high, it would automatically sell SPY and get into TLT. Or if the opposite happened, if SPY fell a lot, it'll do the flip as well. You could do this much faster. You could do this with many stocks throughout the day. And you can use a lot of other types of technical analysis as well. So we use this library, right? You could use Bollinger Bands, right? You could use, you know, some of these things, I don't even know what they are. Average true range, you could use that. Bollinger Bands you could use moving averages, crossing, you could use MACD, all sorts of different things that you could use to trade with. RSI, stochastic RSI, right? Lots and lots of different things you could use to trade. And you can trade throughout the day, buying and selling things automatically based on your criteria, right? You don't have to be at your computer. You don't have to be paying attention to it. You can set up stop losses automatically, all that kind of stuff you can get through the bot, right? Okay, so that's our technical analysis strategy, right? Okay, I'm going to show you some cool new ones that we just made, right? So this is one that I think will probably resonate with a lot of you guys. This is a really fun one that we actually just created, and I'm actually in the process of testing exactly how well it does, but it is definitely a very interesting strategy. Let's use not the right, okay, we're gonna get out of this. So this is a strategy that we call Reddit sentiment, okay? You get access to this strategy. If you join our classes, you get access to this strategy within our classes, right? We'll give this to you. You can use this, you can modify this. It's part of our library of different algorithms, right? Okay, so let me run this one here, okay? And let me explain to you kind of what it's doing, all right? So this strategy, what it does is it goes to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wall Street bets. I feel like this has blown up in popularity recently. And of course, you guys, if you guys follow this sort of thing or know about this sort of thing, it's been influencing a lot of stocks lately, right? The increases in GameStop was because of this channel on Reddit. Basically, I think it's now, when I last checked, there's 1 million, but someone told me there's 4 million people on here. Everyone's discussing stocks, talking about, you know, what to buy, what to sell, that sort of thing. And it actually has quite a bit of predictive power where, you know, GameStop shot up a lot because of what happened on Wall Street bets. There's some people that got going and basically went through the roof, right? GameStop, AMC was another one that's like a big, we call it meme stock or Wall Street bet stock. And there's a few other ones that are happening more recently, like Wish, and a few other ones that maybe you guys have missed out on. But if you had this bot that we've built out here, you won't have to, right? So what it does is it automatically downloads the hot topics within Wall Street bets, right? Downloads, you could specify exactly how much you want to download, right? And then it looks over all of those topics, reads all the comments, and uses some artificial intelligence, uses a bit of machine learning type stuff to figure out which stocks have the best sentiment, okay? And sentiment being whether people are saying they like them or not, right? I hate Wish, or I love Wish, or I think Wish is going to the moon, right? It's going to read all those comments and tell you which stocks are, first of all, talked about the most and which ones have the best sentiment. So we see here, Apple, for example, does not have a very good sentiment. It's widely talked about. People don't seem to like it on Wall Street bets right now. Ones that they do like is this one here, 0.43 Wish. This one's been a hot topic for a while. If you look at the stock charts, by the way, it's gone up a lot. It's doubled over the past week or two, right? So that sentiment is high up there. We have GOEV. I don't even know what that is. This is talking about, people are talking about this on Wall Street Bets. But in either case, what it did is automatically read all that kind of stuff and then bought the top ones for you, right? So let's take a look here. Boom. These are all the top stocks on Wall Street Bets, right? It will automatically hold on to these and read actually these comments throughout the day and throughout the week. So you could have this running in a server, running on your computer. It will automatically buy, in this case, the top 4 stocks that are talked about on Wall Street Bets. Not only the ones that are the most popular, but also the ones that people have the best sentiment for, that people say they really like. Look at that. We just bought them and all of a sudden our money is already starting to go up. It's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so this is a very interesting strategy. We're going to be actually testing this over the next little bit, and I'm thinking about putting some of our own funds money into this as well. All right, so look at that. We literally just bought it, and look at what happened to our stock price. It's literally within a minute, it's shooting up like crazy, right? And what the strategy will do is it will just keep reading this all day long, right? And see, has it changed, right? If sentiments have changed, it will get rid of it, right? Or if sentiments have gone up for one, it will buy it, right? So automatically be doing this stuff all day long. All right, definitely really cool. It's amazing how fast it's going up. So we have a question here. I have no coding experience. Will this program sync it to my trading platform and auto execute the trades? It depends what trading platform you use, right? So if you have no coding experience, I wouldn't be too worried about it. We have a lot of people in our classes with no coding experience, and they've all been able to get bots up and running. So I wouldn't be too surprised about that. I wouldn't be too worried about that, right? Whether it links with your trading platform, it depends on what trading platform you're using, right? We have 2 brokers that we work with right off the bat. Yeah, so we use Alpaca, we use Interactive Brokers, and we're going to be adding in TradeStation soon. That's the next one that we're adding in. So if you use TradeStation, we'll probably have this built in within the next like 2 months, right? So we are definitely going to be adding that in soon, right? So for Thinkorswim, they don't have API access. They have API access to something called TD Ameritrade. They don't give you access to the Thinkorswim platform. It's kind of a little weird there. So we recommend actually, if you want to do like algo trading, TD Ameritrade is really not the best, right? They don't allow you to do paper trading, that sort of thing. And to be honest with you, it's really easy to switch brokers, right? Like to open up an account with Alpaca, like honestly, I think you can do this within 5 minutes, right? It's really easy to do that. So we work with them. We work with the Interactive Brokers. We're going to be adding in TradeStation very soon. And then we're going to keep adding in more and more as we go. So you definitely have a lot of options there. This is amazing. Look at this. We literally just bought this and we're already making like a bunch of money. The stock chart just shooting straight up. Yeah, changing brokers. Yeah, I agree with you, right? Changing brokers is not very difficult. It's really easy to do that. I really like TradeStation. They have great APIs, so we're going to be working with them soon. They also have crypto. They have futures. They have a lot of other stuff. So TradeStation's a really good one that we're going to be adding in. It's amazing, guys. I got to start running my own money in this strategy. We literally just built this like 2 days ago, so we're still testing it out. But it's amazing. Look at this. Literally, in the course of this conversation, we've already made what, like $300 or something like that. It's just in the course of our talking right now. Cool strategy, right? So that's our Reddit trading strategy. If you have no coding experience, really not that hard for you guys to get this up and running. It's part of our code library, so you can actually start off with this. You can modify it however you want. You don't have to be an expert programmer to do this stuff, guys. You don't have to be some like whiz kid, because we give you a lot of these templates they can start off with, right? Okay, cool. So that's a Reddit sentiment. I'm going to show you one more. That one actually is really cool. I gotta run that one. I'm going to do that after this. Going to run in the cloud and have it go for a few days, test it out for a couple of days, because that's pretty impressive how well it did that quickly. Like I said, we just built this one like 2 days ago. Another one I want to show you guys, and this is one that we actually just put a bunch of our money into. I really like this strategy, and I'll tell you why, right? And I'll tell you why through a back test, okay? So we teach you not only how to build the bots, we also teach you how to do the research behind it, as to, you know, how are you going to be picking a strategy? Is this a good strategy for you to do or not, right? How do you find these strategies? And this is one way they can figure out whether a strategy is good for you or not, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm running a back test, okay? So it's a back test for a strategy that we call diversified leverage, okay? And basically what we're doing is we're going from 2012, right? We're doing this because some of these ticker symbols didn't exist until 2012. From 2012 until 2021, so 9 years, okay? And we're seeing how would our strategy have done over the past 9 years? What kind of results would we have gotten, all right? So the strategy in particular, the one that we're doing, is called this diversified leverage strategy, okay? And basically what it is this is like modern portfolio theory, right? If you talk to someone like a Ray Dalio, or you talk to like some of the most prominent investors in the world, they all tell you diversify well. And the reason why you diversify well is because you want to make sure that you reduce your risk. If you reduce your risk, you can take on more, you can actually take on more risk and make more money, right? Essentially. So what this is we have a bunch of different ticker symbols we're in here. We're in the leveraged NASDAQ, so TQQQ, right? So it's the triple NASDAQ, right? So 3x the returns of the NASDAQ. If you look at the stock chart on this thing, it's wild. It's like up 1,600% in 2 years or something like that. It's crazy, right? But of course, also has its risks. There's a downside as well, right? So we want to protect against that. So we have 20% of our money into that, 10% of our money into UPRO, which is the leveraged S&P 500, 3x leveraged. Then we have 10% of our money into UDOW, which is a leveraged Dow Jones. Then we have 10% of our money in emerging markets, right? Leveraged emerging markets, right? 35% of our money in leveraged treasury bonds. So now we diversify, right? So we have in total 50% of our money in stocks, right? In leveraged stocks, right? And diversified around the world a little bit, right? And then we have the rest of our money in something to counterbalance that, right? To reduce our risks, to give us some good hedging, and to improve our returns without taking on too much risk, right? So we do that by having leveraged treasury bonds. So usually when stocks fall, treasuries go up and vice versa. So they're a really good hedge to have in a portfolio. We also have Barclays VIX, right? This is an interesting one. Basically, you lose money regularly, but when things fall apart, if like the stock market crashes, it'll go like up 5x. You'll make 500% of your money in like a day, right? And that's a really good hedge because if things fall, you want to be able to protect yourself, right? And we also have 5% of our money in gold. So this is one that actually I've put some of our money into, right? Not all, but some good chunk of our money into the strategy. And I'll tell you why, right? When we look at the back test, what we can see here is, look at this. So this is this strategy, okay, over that same time period, right? Over this 2012 to 2021, that 9 years there. So January 1st, 2012 to January 1st, 2021, right? So 9 years, okay? Over that time period, the S&P 500 was up 17.5%, which is nice, great. If you were in this strategy, you would have made 28.9%. You would have almost doubled the stock market's returns, okay? Which is amazing, right? Like obviously that's, if you guys do the math behind this, this is the difference between when you retire, you could retire with $1 million versus 10 million, right? That's like the difference, right? Like it's a very, very large difference when you have double the stock market's returns. Huge, huge payouts. This could be worth $9 million to you in the future. You know what I mean, this kind of differential, right? But okay, so it's great to have the higher returns. That's awesome, right? But we're not just talking about higher returns here. We're talking about higher returns while taking on the same amount or less risk, okay? So over that same time period, so we doubled the stock market's returns, but we also had only a little bit of increase in our volatility. It's not too much more volatile, meaning this up and down thing. And our max drawdown is almost exactly the same, right? So meaning from the peak to the bottom, right? This is in last year, right? March, 2020, stock market fell 30%. From the very top to the very bottom, it fell 33%, okay? If you were invested in this strategy, you would have also only lost about 33% at the same time period. So we have the same risk as the stock market, but we're making double the returns. That to me sounds incredibly impressive, right? Which is why we're putting some of our money into this, right? We diversify among different strategies. We don't put everything into one, but this was one when we're looking at 30% of year returns, sounds very appealing to me, right? So this one went ahead. When we go in here, you could see it automatically bought all these things for us, right? All the different ones. This would be a pain, by the way, to do on your own. And the key is that it doesn't just buy these, it rebalances. And that's the key here, right? Because you'll have days like, for example, TQQQ will shoot up, in a week's time, will shoot up 100% or something like that. When it shoots up 100%, you want to rebalance your portfolio and put money somewhere else. And that's how you actually get the safety along with the very good gains, right? It's intelligent portfolio construction, and that's how you end up making all the money. That's why having like a robot that'll automatically look at the stuff and rebalance for you is really important, because that's how you're actually going to end up with these returns. You can't just go and buy them and that's it, right? You actually have to be rebalancing and trading them on a regular basis, right? So I very much like this strategy as well. We have our own money, like I said, in this as well, and so far been doing, we've been making good money. So I'm happy with it so far. All right, cool. All right, so that's a couple of our strategies. We've showed you everything from our day trading, to trading off of Reddit, to building intelligent portfolios. I have a few more that I can show you guys. We have a whole library, like I said. There's tons of different things. We have things where we trade off of like macroeconomic things, where we use like the debt, where the Fed Reserve, that they take on debt. We trade off of that. We're building out a bunch of options trading strategies as well, which we're going to have a separate webinar to kind of explain a bunch of that stuff, where you could trade volatility and all that sort of thing. We have lots and lots of different strategies, and we just keep growing more and more of them. So if you guys join our courses, not only are we going to teach you how to do this stuff, we're going to give you access to that big library, so you'll be able to either use it right out of the box, or modify it to do whatever you want it to do. You'll have access to that sort of stuff. All right. Cool. So that's the demo.
All right, guys. So what did you think? What do you guys think about the demo? So I want to answer. Awesome. Thank you. So I want to answer a couple of these questions. So awesome. Great. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, I want to show you guys a couple of different examples. That was a few weeks ago. We've actually developed quite a bit more since then. We now have a bunch of options trading strategies. We've really made quite a bit of headway on a lot of those. So I'm probably going to record it again at some point to show off some of the newer stuff. But I want to quickly go through, because you guys had a couple questions in here, and I answered them through a chat, but just in case anyone else has the same question, right? So Nath, you're asking a few questions here. So first question was, does this course cover the basics of options and day trading, and also things mentioned in this trading? So definitely day trading we covered. There's lots of it. You can back test day trading strategies now. We have a brand new release that we just actually we're releasing today. You can back test day trading strategies. So it's actually really good. A lot of people come up with a day trading strategy and will be like, yeah, you got to buy the MACD or whatever it is that you got to do. And then you ask them like, why do you think you should be doing this? It's like, oh, I read it on the internet. Well, I mean, like, don't you want to test and check to see if that actually does work? Because, are we just going by gut feeling, right? So the back testing is very, very helpful. You can take a lot of those strategies, put it into an algorithm, and then see how would it have done in the past 10, 20, 50, 300 days, right? Would it have made you money? Would it have lost you money? Like, what would have happened? So the back testing is very helpful. So we definitely cover a lot of day trading stuff. In this course, in the algorithmic trading course, we also cover options a little bit, but the problem is options itself is quite large. There's a lot to cover in options, which is why we actually have another course. And if you go to our website here, go to lumiwealth.com, you'll see that we have courses here under courses. You can go through a bunch of our different courses, and it's taking a second here to load. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, I guess there's something wonky going on with our website right now. It's a bit strange. Okay. Normally there's a little drop down here under courses. You could also go to the bottom here, right? There's algorithmic trading, there's machine learning, right? So you can go down to, there's machine learning here, there's algorithmic trading, there's also options trading. Normally you'd get it right up at the top. There's something wonky with the website. I'm going to actually check right after this what's going on. But basically we have an options trading course as well that will go really deep into options trading, all right? Okay. So another question was, it shows stocks selected in a demo. Do we have to pick the stocks of interest, or say if the computer is trading all day, there's human intervention to pick the stocks to invest, right? So basically, The question is, do you have to pick what stocks this algorithm is going to invest in, or can you have it automatically figure out which stocks to invest in? And the answer is they could do both, right? You could set up a strategy that just trades one type of stock. That's all it does. Or what you could do is you could have your strategy go off and get some information on a bunch of different stocks and say, these are the ones I'm trading today, and do that. The computer can do either one, right? Your bots can do either one of those. The other question is, once you buy the course, do you have access to limited 2 months, or is it lifetime access? And if you buy our courses, you get a lifetime access to everything, right? So you get a lifetime access to our library of algorithms for that course, right? You get access to, we take the course as many times as you want. Some people, for example, they'll take our course and something happens. Let's say they have some health issues or something like that. Whatever, right? They get a new job or something, right? So a lot of people take our courses and get jobs, which is great. I love hearing that because Python is definitely quite relevant to a lot of things in the finance industry. Yeah, I mean, so for whatever reason, you could retake the course, right? And also just technology gets better over time. The people that took our course last year, we've made so many strides in all of our different algorithms and stuff. I constantly encourage them, hey, watch this new class because we have some new material that I think you'd love. So definitely, you can definitely retake it. You get lifetime access for that stuff, right? Yeah, and that applies for live classes as well. And then, so another question is here, say if I have to use the code shown in the video, how can we test it without losing or betting on money? Apologize. So the way that you could test your strategies is, first of all, what we recommend is you do your analysis first, right? Do some analysis, build your bot, and then you back test your bot on previous years and see how it would have done over the past 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it is, right? Then you run it on a paper trading account, right? Which is very easy to do. When I was trading there, I was actually using a paper trading account because, doing live demos on live money, that's just not a smart thing to do. So we're using a paper trading account there. And I'd recommend that you guys do the same. When you first build your algorithm out, use the demo or use the paper trading. This way you make sure that there's no bugs, that everything's working properly, that it's actually making you money, fake money, but making you money. And then you make it go live and then you're good to go. All right. That's basically the process that we recommend. Right. Yeah. So this question I answer as well. Can you go over what the difference is between the courses? Yeah, sure. So I don't know what's up with our website here, but what I can do is I'll go Algorithmic Trading. Buy now. See if I could remember. Nope. Oh boy, I'm trying to remember all these things. All the links. So that's one of them. Python for Finance Buy Now. Okay. Next one is our machine learning. There's this one here. I'll fix this website in a couple minutes after this. There's usually a drop down here under courses. They could just like pick each one of these. But I'm trying to remember these things from memory. Oh, it works on Safari and Chrome for you? Okay, that's good. Perfect. So you could actually go in and do that. Maybe it's just my browser being a little crazy right now. Options trading by now. Maybe it's algorithmic. Algorithmic options trading. No, that's not it. It works on Firefox. Okay, so I guess you guys can go to it, so I'm not even going to do that. But basically, we have 3 courses right now. We have our algorithmic trading course, which we recommend to take kind of first, right? Especially if you don't have a lot of programming experience, that sort of thing. The other 2 courses are a little bit more advanced, right? So we recommend that you usually take algorithmic trading first and then take the other 2. Unless you're like a good programmer and you have a lot of experience, by all means, you can jump into the other ones, right? So that's kind of what we recommend. Algorithmic trading is longer, it's 12 weeks long. And it really starts from the basics, right? So we start with like going over Python, going over pandas and data science, and then we show you a bunch of examples and how these all work. And it covers a little bit of everything, right? It covers a little bit of options, a little bit of futures, a little bit of, machine learning. We cover a little bit of everything, right? And kind of get your feet wet. Then when you want to like really get good at a subject, like machine learning is quite complex, right? Like there's a lot of stuff you do with machine learning and really powerful things they could do. I've seen people make some incredible returns using it. So, you know, we have an entire course just dedicated to that. And it's basically like using AI to figure out how to actually, what to trade and how to trade and that sort of thing, right? And then we also have this options trading course, which is specific to options trading, because again, options can be quite complex, right? So we have an entire course just dedicated to that talks about different option strategies, how payoffs work, and then gets into just options trading strategies, right? And we get really deep into them and do a lot of like workshops and make sure that you guys have those algorithms working on your computer and you know how to modify them and like make it work for you to build out those strategies. And really excited about that course. That one's starting soon. Really, really cool stuff they could build with code and options. So yeah, so those are our 3 courses. Right. So which course would be best for getting into trading with Forex? We don't have a Forex trading course yet, right? But if you were to take our algorithmic trading course, we do cover that, right? So almost everything like applies to, like, all you really have to do is just change the asset, right? Forex is not that different from stock trading, right? Options can be quite different because of, you know, strike prices and all sorts of crazy stuff, right? But Forex, a lot of stuff that you use in stock trading, you could apply to Forex trading, and all you have to do is just swap out the asset. It's really, really simple to do that, right? And if you take our algorithmic trading course, I could actually show you how to do that. It's really not hard at all, right? And we will eventually be coming out with a course specifically on futures and Forex. But that's in the future. Our futures course is in the future, right? But yeah, if you take our algorithmic trading course, you'll definitely learn how to trade Forex at least a little bit, and we could develop from there as well, right? Cool. All right. All right. So let's talk about the course itself. You guys are already asking a lot of questions around this, so I'm going to dive into it. All right. There's another question up here. You guys are asking lots of questions. It's great. Did you have any students get into this at a later point in time in their career? Yeah. We have all sorts of, I mean, we have people that are like 60s. So, yeah, we've definitely had a lot of people that are older taking our course. We have a big range. I mean, I think the youngest was like in his 20s. I think most people are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, right? That's kind of the sweet spot where most people are. Of course, not asking age, but seeing them, right? So 30s, 40s, 50s is kind of the typical student that we have. You know, if you're using this to switch careers, I think it's a good time to do that. I know a lot of people that actually in their 30s or 40s, right? They took our course, put Python on their resume, showed them a couple of trading bots, and all of a sudden they got a better job, right? So definitely very good for your career, knowing how to code. Yeah, if you want to switch careers post 30s. Yeah, I mean, it can be scary, but I mean, if you're going to switch into anything, software is definitely the way to go, right? I mean, if you search Glassdoor, right, go to Glassdoor, like for example, you search for like data scientist or Python developer. I'm going to continue this way. So if we want to search for salaries, for example, right? Yeah, Python is different from MQ4L. Actually, what is MQ4L? Do you mean MetaTrader? Is that the MetaTrader language? I don't know. I'm not sure what MQ4L is. Yeah, MetaTrader 4. Yeah, it is quite different from that. Yeah, so MetaTrader and what we do in Python are quite different. MetaTrader is a lot more limited, right? Like MetaTrader only allows you really to do like technical analysis and stuff like that. You can't really do the machine learning. You can't really download data from other sources. Like, it's really quite limited in what it can do. That's why we chose to use Python, and there's a lot more they can do with it, right? So you can do the machine learning stuff. You can pull data from all over the internet. You can still do all that technical analysis stuff, but you can do it better. There's backtesting. You could trade all sorts of different kind of assets. So there's a lot more they can do with it than what MetaTrader can do, right? Which is why we decided to use Python, right? So yeah, so I want to show you, by the way, let's say data scientist. This is New York, right? I used to live in New York, but this is the average salary for a data scientist in New York City, right? $115,000 on average. I can tell you when I worked in finance, people were making quite a bit more than that actually, right? Finance data scientists actually get paid even more, right? I think the average salary is probably closer to like 130, 140,000 for a data scientist in the finance industry, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the question is, you know, you know, if you're applying for this kind of job, do companies still prefer candidates with financial knowledge? I mean, yeah, definitely financial knowledge is very helpful, right? Not required. I mean, I used to hire a lot of these people, by the way. So I can tell you what I used to look for. Financial knowledge is really helpful, not a must, but definitely helps a lot, right? The problem is it's hard to find those people, right? Like when you find someone who has the financial knowledge and the data science, those people make a ton of cash and they're very high in demand. You know what I mean? So having that kind of that double kind of thing is really, really helpful. Right. Cool. Okay. All right. So I'm going to jump into our algorithmic trading course. So again, if you guys go to the website, you can go to, let me try doing this. Maybe if I do an incognito window, maybe that will fix some of the problems on the, there it is. Okay, cool. So it's a weird caching thing. So here, this is what I mean. You can go into, if you go to lumiwealth.com, you can go under courses here and you'll see basically all the different courses that we have. Our options trading course, right? We have our machine learning course, right? You can read up on any one of these. We also have webinars on each one of those if you want to watch it. Just go to our YouTube channel and you can see all the webinars there. All right. To talk about this course, right? So this is our algorithmic trading course. Also one, again, I recommend taking this one first if you don't have a lot of programming experience, as this will polish your programming experience. We'll teach you how to set up Lumiwealth. We really hold your hand a lot through all this, and we'll kind of give you a little bit of each thing. We'll give you a little bit of Forex, a little bit of futures, a little bit of options. You'll kind of learn all the different little things that are happening, right? Okay, so this is the algorithmic trading course, okay? We have 3 different course plans. Okay, we have a self-directed plan, which is basically you watch the videos, you're still part of our community, you still get access to our library of algorithms, right? So you get access to all that stuff, right? Plus you get access to pre-recorded videos, right, to be able to watch and learn. Okay, that's our self-directed plan. Right. Then we also have a live classes plan. Okay. So self-directed is basically just like recorded videos, right? A live class plan, you get all of that. You get access to recorded videos. You get access to our community. You get access to our discussion hour. You get access to our library of algorithms, but you also get a chance to be part of a live class, and people really love this thing. So basically a live class is like this. It's kind of like this Zoom thing that we're doing right now, except you guys, instead of typing, you guys can actually turn on your microphones and just ask questions. It's really cool. Throughout, like people ask a lot of questions, like what's going on here, and you know, coding is one of those things that sometimes you sit down and I can't tell you how often this happens. People will spend hours working on an issue, right? And then they'll ask me a question and I'll solve it for them in 2 minutes, right? Because it's coding is just like that. People get stuck. Oh, you forgot the semicolon or something like that, right? So the live class nature is very, very helpful, right? That you can ask questions throughout. We have a lot of workshops where you get to see, where you get to like share your screen and we'll like go through it together with you, right? And then you also obviously get to meet a lot of other people in the class. So we do lots of presentations. You get to see what other people are working on with their algorithms, right? It becomes like, it's very much like a community type thing. And a lot of people actually end up becoming friends and working on things together afterwards, right? So that's a live class plan and that's really, really popular. This is definitely the one that most people sign up for. Then we also have a project help and tutoring plan, which gives you all of those things from before, right? The recordings, the access to community, the live classes, all that kind of stuff. Plus, we'll spend a lot of extra time sitting down with you one-on-one or helping you write code. Like we'll actually sit down, we'll get some of our developers involved and help you build out some of your code, right? You'll get access to a lot of one-on-one time with us, where basically we'll sit down and, okay, you have a problem here, let's walk through it together. We'll do a one-on-one session over Zoom. And again, you know, if you're building out an algorithm, we can help you maybe build the algorithm, maybe help you build the beginning parts of it. A lot of people choose this when they have like a specific thing in mind, or you know, if they want to like get that extra help to really move faster and build out an algorithm that makes a lot of sense for them in a quick amount of time. And also, I mentioned this before, but for these two, the live classes and the project help tutoring, if you want to retake the class ever again, you could take it as many times as you want. You have lifetime access to all of our recordings. You have, including recordings of the future, right? You have lifetime access to our library of algorithms, right? And if you want to retake the course, say because, you know, it's been a year, technology's gotten a lot better and you want to like learn about the new technology, you could join a course in a year from now if you want to. Or, you know, let's say you got a job or something like that and you've been a little busy or you're moving or whatever, you can, you know, pause here and then start in another session, right? So say you start next week is when our next classes start. You start taking that and you have to move. You can take the next one that starts in September, right? And you can just transfer over. So you're more than welcome to do that. Some people have taken this course several times over. More than happy to see familiar faces. Yeah. All right, so we got a couple questions here. I want to take a look. Can I sign up for a self-directed and sign up for live for the lesser price? I know live class has a better advantage over recorded classes. Yeah, so we don't offer discounts like that. If you bought the self-directed class, then you're gonna have to buy the live class at full price afterwards. All right. We don't sell it like that. We don't do this upgrading type thing. Right. Okay, cool. So here are our three plans, right? So our first plan, let me check this question. Okay, understood. Awesome. Okay, so our first plan, like I said, is our self-directed plan. This is access to our library code. We have basically watching all the videos. You get all the pre-recorded videos. You get access to our community. You get access to our discussion hour. And, you know, we get support over Discord, right? That's our self-directed class. This is paid over 2 months, right? So about $950 paid over 2 months. Yeah. Our live classes are about $3,500, right? Paid over 3 months. Sometimes we could even modify that payment plan for you guys if you want. So you could talk to one of our reps and they could even change the payment plan if you need it, if you need to. You get everything from the self-directed plan that I was talking about. Plus you get these 12 weeks of classes. You get live Q&A that we'll be able to talk to you guys. You're going to get help with these projects. You're going to get to know other teammates, you know, and really you're going to be part of a live class. You're going to be able to learn live, which is a lot more interesting. You know, when you have this regular schedule of going through live and you have to do homework, it kind of keeps you on point a little bit more. But it's also really good so you could ask questions throughout and kind of get that live help, which is a lot of people really appreciate. And then this is our project help and tutoring plan. This is about $5,300, right? Paid over 3 months, right? And this plan, you're going to get everything from those two before, plus you're going to get someone that's actually helping you. And I'll spend time with you as well. Like actually building out your algorithm. We'll actually write code for you. We'll actually sit down with you one-on-one and really help figure out what's going on with this stuff and make sure that you really get this is like the white glove service. You get like everything coming out of this and making sure that you get exactly what you need. All right. We also sell things as bundles. A lot of people like buying these as bundles. We have people buying now all three of them at the same time, right? You take, you know, 1, 2, 3, the algo, machine, and options. When you buy them together, you save some money, right? So buying this two self-directed together, you know, you're saving like 50% there pretty much. This is with algo and machine learning. You could buy all three too. If you want to buy the options one as well, we could throw that in and give you a discount on it. We don't have the prices listed here because it would be way too long of a thing. There'd be too many different configurations of it. But if you speak to one of our reps, Alicia or Joe, they can help you out with this and set up a way for you to buy this. So whenever you're buying two of the courses together, you're going to get a discount, right? So just know that. Okay, cool. All right, so you could read about our outcomes there. But what you guys are probably most interested in is our course curriculum, right? So let's talk about what exactly this course is going to go over. So we divide it up into 3 parts, 4 weeks each, right? So 12-week course, 4 weeks per part, right? First part is getting all the fundamentals down, right? So making sure you know how to code, making sure you know how to do data science, right? All the basics, right? This is, so if you've never coded Python before, we'll get you up to speed here. We also give you advice to go with some other third parties to like really help you learn this quite quickly, right? And then by the end of part 1, hopefully you've gotten your bearings and you know kind of the basics of code and of Python, and understand how data science works in the Python atmosphere, right? So that's part 1. Part 2, we take all that data science, we start applying it to the world of finance, right? So we teach you how to download economic data and like actually go through it to figure out, you know, can we get some sort of conclusions out of this? We teach you a little about statistics and how to graph things out and visualize and make sure, okay, maybe there's a pattern here, that sort of thing. We go through a lot of that kind of stuff. And then we also start talking a lot about back testing, right? So we'll go through, you know, downloading that data, figuring out here's an idea that I have. Let's put it into an actual algorithm, and then now let's back test it and let's see how it would have done over the past, right? So we cover all that stuff in our second part. And by the time you're out of the second part, most people, by the way, by the end of week 4, will have a working bot that is already traded for them, right? Because when you're doing the back test, it's pretty easy to make it live trade, right? Okay, that's part 2. And then part 3 is really about polishing that up, right? So it's about making sure that you have a bot working, right? That is trading for you, right? It's about going through a bunch of different strategies, showing you like our Reddit trading strategy, showing you our you know, our day trading strategies, like all these different things. We show you how all of it works, how to modify all of it, and we go through it a lot in different detail, right? Around here, we're also going to change this curriculum a little bit here. We're going to be talking a little bit about futures, Forex, options, and showing you how to get that stuff up and running a little bit here. Again, we have entire courses on those, so it's hard to cover all that in such a short time span, but you get a little bit of that here, right? And then also we cover in week 4, we cover machine learning, and we'll show you kind of the basics of machine learning. We'll show you something that's actually up and running, right? And again, if you guys are trading different assets, it's pretty easy to modify these things to different assets, right? Especially things like futures or Forex. Those are quite similar to stocks. I mean, there's leverage and stuff like that you have to think about. So it's a little bit different, but it's very, very close. It's not like options. Options are like way different, right? So if you're interested in that, you can definitely learn how to do it from here, right? Okay, we have 2 classes coming up live, right? So the next one starts on the 25th, which is pretty much exactly a week from today, right? So next week, Wednesday, at actually the same time that this webinar started. So if you were free today, next week, instead of watching this webinar, you could actually be learning how to do this stuff, right? So in exactly a week. Our registration closes today, right? Today's the last day of registration. If you guys really need some extra time, we might be able to skip it for you, but we really recommend that you sign up a little bit earlier so you can start getting ready for it, right? Because especially if you've never coded before, we can give you a lot of like little things to kind of get you so you're on the right foot when you get started. All right, so that's our August course. We've had a lot of people sign up for it this week. It's going to be a really good class. There's some really smart people coming in. I think it's going to be a great one, right? So that's our August class. If you can't make that, if that's too soon for you, then we also have another one starting in September. Starts on September 30th. Okay. And this one, same as they both kind of go for 12 weeks, right? They're 12 weeks long. We recommend about 8 to 12 hours of study on your own. And then the class itself is usually about 2.5 hours long. And it's the one in August starts or the one next week starts Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, goes every Wednesday for 12 weeks. And then the September class is every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And again, 12 weeks every day for 12 weeks, right? And it's about 2 hours long. And then we recommend you spend a little bit of time outside of class practicing and building some of this stuff up, right? If you want to sign up for a September class as well, we're also having an early bird special, which actually just ended. I didn't even realize that. We got to take that off the website. But you know, we did have an early bird special that you're able to get. We might be able to sneak you in like a day or two later if you guys really want to still have that discount. But like I said, it technically ended, so I guess we should take that off. But yeah, so that's our September class. So September 30th is when it would be starting. All right. Throughout the course, we do a bunch of projects, right? So We have one that's the first project is basically analyzing investment strategies, downloading data, analyzing what it's all about, and then building out your back tests and seeing how it works. People present pretty much once a week. So you see presentations from other people, how they're coming along with their projects. You can present your own, get some feedback. It's very, very helpful that way. It's the live classes are great like that. And then project 2 is actually building a live trading robot and seeing it actually trade for you and make you money. So that's project 2, right? If you want to read about me, you can read about me here, right? I described myself a little bit already before, but you can read about me here. By the way, for those of you that joined a little later, make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, right? So let me go over to our YouTube channel here. Okay, I'm going to post the link again because you could actually, for those of you that were a little late, you could actually watch the beginning of this presentation. And you can watch that here right now. As you can see, it's on our YouTube, and this is actually live, right? It's delayed by a few seconds, but this is basically the same thing here. And you can go in there, and when you click on that link, as soon as we're done this, that live is going to turn into a recording, and you'll be able to actually rewatch it. So if you miss some things at the beginning, you could actually listen to them, right? Cool. Okay, so that's a bit about me. And then we also have a bunch of testimonials here. We keep adding more and more of them, right? We just need to sit down with people and actually record them. But here's a bunch of testimonials. Feel free to watch these. These guys, by the way, you can also catch them on our Discord channel. They're very active, right? Sentayan, you even see here, like, if you go onto our Discord, definitely recommend that you guys join Discord. I sent you guys that link earlier. But yeah, here's like Sentayan, Brassy J, that's Joel, Agim, right? These guys are all on our channel communicating quite a bit. They're on our discussion hour. So, you could read these testimonials by them and how they took the course and what they enjoyed about it or didn't, right? They're being totally honest. But you could also talk to them on Discord and just ask them, right? They're very active on our channels, right? So, and they're building some really cool stuff. They've built some really cool algorithms. Sentayan especially, he's built some really, really cool stuff. Made quite a bit of money. So it's always interesting to hear from on our discussion hour and what he's been working on. So yeah, so that's the testimonials, right? And that's about it. You guys, if you want, you could book a call down here. You could talk to one of our reps. They could explain to you if you have any more questions about anything. Just book a time. They can speak to you about that kind of stuff. Sometimes they can work out some deals for you as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this course. And do you guys have any questions? You guys have been a fun group, by the way. Definitely, I love all the questions. I love how interactive this was. More questions, awesome. Thanks, Nath. That's great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being part of this. Honestly, I love having active people like this. This is great. Hope to see you in our class. It starts next week. Let's start building some algorithms, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for being part of this. I'll give you guys a little bit more time to write out your questions, because I know sometimes I've done this in the past where I left a little too early and people are still typing. Absolutely. We'll try to sign up for one in the future soon. Awesome. Yeah, sounds great. Perfect. Yeah, let me know. Let me know how it goes. Be happy to have you. Yeah, definitely get on Discord. And you know what? I'll send out this link again for those of you that joined a little late. This is the link to our Discord channel. There it is. So you guys can join and you guys can talk to the people that are there. Lots of interesting discussions on just trading in general. A lot of people talking about building algorithms. Our alumni channel obviously has some pretty advanced coders in there. People have been doing this for some time now. They took our courses before and now they've built out their own algorithms. So it's interesting to talk to people there. But yeah, definitely join our Discord. It is a fantastic place to learn from others and kind of get to know what our community is all about, right? Yeah. So Ralph, so basically our self-directed bundle, it's basically our live recordings of our live classes is what it is, right? So if you take the self-directed, it's a live class recorded. So you get pretty much everything that you get from a live class, except for that live touch. And you don't get as much of the Q&A, right? So if you take the self-directed, you'll still have access to all the code. You'll still have access to basically what everyone else saw, right? The only thing is you're not going to be able to ask questions throughout the course. You're not going to be able to, you know, get that feedback. We do less one-on-one, right? Like the live class is really, most people sign up for them and they love these things, right? It's kind of keeps you on point too. And you can do your presentations, you get to see other people presenting. It's the live classes are just a lot of fun. I know a lot of people enjoy taking them. I also enjoy teaching them. So at least I'm the teacher for this class. There's other instructors for the other ones, but it's definitely a pleasure having people around. Everyone always has such cool ideas too. I mean, we've built so many algorithms now. It's like we keep getting cooler and cooler stuff. And like the beautiful thing about code is that you could reuse code from before and then build on top of it. So things just keep getting better. Every time I teach this, there's cooler stuff going on, right? So cool, awesome. Okay, so it sounds like you guys don't have any more questions other than that self-directed, and I hope I answered that well. Guys, thank you very much for being part of this. I hope to see you guys in our classes. This has been very fun. Love teaching this stuff, love interacting with you guys, and hopefully see you guys soon. All right. Have a good night, guys.